Chapter 2.
Snickering softly, I lower myself down behind the gate to the palace grounds. Despite the fact I'm 17 and should be way beyond the level of maturity my actions suggest, I can't resist the urge to turn around and make a face at the guards back. No one in past sunset. Ha! I'm in past sunset. I turn around smugly, content that I am the best in the breaking and entering business, only to have my illusions of grandeur smashed to itty-bitty pieces by the glint of torchlight off metal. Damn. Apparently the guard at the gate is not the only one I've got to contend with. I whirl around on my heel, frantically searching for something to hide behind, or under, or beside, or in, or anything. There's nothing. Not a damn thing. I stand out like a Goron at Zora River. I'm doomed. I'm so doomed. If I'm not executed for breaking into the palace grounds after sunset, I'll be locked in the dungeon for it. And if I'm not locked in the dungeon for it, Bruiser will kill me for it. I can't win. I'm doomed. I'm doomed. I'm being grabbed from behind and pulled to a well-hidden door in the wall. What? Who? Let me go. Let me go. I hiss, struggling frantically to break the iron grip whoever has on my arms.
Would you settle down?
A familiar voice whispers in my ear. Shiek, what are you doing here?
I'm saving your sorry ass.
He responds, releasing his hold on me. I turn around, massaging my shoulder gingerly. Did you have to save me so violently? I think I'm gonna bruise. He rolls his eyes. Well, the only part of his face that's not covered by his white shawl, anyway.
You're such a baby. What are you doing here anyway?
I could ask the same of you. What are you doing here? I haven't seen hide nor hair of you for months, and then all of a sudden you pop up here of all places?
I'm a Sheikah. I can come and go as I please here. You, however, are not. If I didn't know better, I'd even go so far as to say you're a trespasser.
He raises a thin eyebrow at me.
What could possibly be so important that you'd risk your neck breaking into the palace grounds?
Actually, I still gotta break into the palace itself. My friend's eyebrow shoots even higher.
The palace itself, eh? Mind if I ask why?
Because I gotta deliver a package to the princess.
Well, why didn't you just drop it off before sunset?
I shrug sheepishly, avoiding his gaze. I got distracted.
Malin again.
For some reason, I've never been able to figure out. Sheik has never ever liked Malin. If I didn't know him better, I'd almost say he was jealous. But that would make no sense. Yeah, Malin again. What can I say? She's a weakness. I turn to look at him. What about you? Where have you been hiding for the past few months? I grin evilly at him. Could, perchance, the great bachelor Sheik had found a pretty little girl that's caused attention? The young warrior blushes a bright red, visible even in the fading twilight, and abruptly begins to stutter. I smirk. Girls always had that effect on him. It's true! I almost crow, then catch myself, and lower my voice. What's she like? What's her name? What does she look like? Is she pretty, or does she look like you? I turn my head to the side. Do I know her?
No! No, Link, no, there's no girl. No girl. None. I've just been busy doing, stuff.
Stuff? What kind of stuff?
Training stuff.
I consider arguing with him. He's obviously making this stuff up as he goes. But there's no point. He's always vague about what he's been up to when he's not with me. And I doubt he'll ever actually come clean with me. Are the guards gone yet?
Yep, they've turned around and are continuing on their rounds.
Thanks. Well, I guess I'm off. I jog out the door, but Sheik is on my heels.
Not without me, you're not.
Sheik, I'm in enough trouble just being here. I don't want to get you in trouble for smuggling me on top of that. He smirks at me.
Link, without me, you'll be caught for sure.
Says who?
Says me. You're impatient, mule-headed, and not subtle at all. Not to mention out of shape. Besides, I know this palace like the back of my hand. I can get you in and out in no time. Face it, friend, you need me.
I grumble something in the way of an acknowledgement. But, for the record, I am not out of shape. Sheik and I continue on our way. We creep slowly through the palace grounds, avoiding guards when we can and having Sheik distract them from me when we can't. However, I can't help but notice as we move along that Sheik keeps giving me odd looks when he thinks I can't see him. It's not that big of a deal. Sheik's always giving me odd looks. But he's giving me more than usual this time, and it's starting to make me a little paranoid. Okay, I say finally, turning around and glaring at him. What?
What do you mean, what? What's wrong?
Why do you keep looking at me like that? Every other step you give me this funny look. Like I'm doing something I shouldn't be able to do. Or something.
Well, you are.
Huh?
Well, think about it. Link, you've been in lead this whole time, not me. And you've taken us without hesitation to the one section of the palace grounds that will let you into the palace unhindered.
He gestures at the vine-covered wall behind me and raises an eyebrow.
No mean feat for someone who's never been to the palace before.
I stare at him in surprise. Oh my god, he's right. I turn around and stare at the vines, placing one hand on them in confusion. The same feeling of deja vu that's been bothering me all night rushes over me again. Okay, that's weird. Damn it, that's almost scary. I turn to look at Shiek, expecting him to have the same odd look on his face. His expression has changed a bit. He looks almost triumphant now. I frown at him, and his eyes melt back into their usual impassiveness. I can't help but get the distinct impression that he knows something I don't, and he's got no intention of telling me what it is. Never befriended Sheikah. They're unemotional, secretive, and closed-mouthed. Shaking myself free of the eerie feeling, I start climbing up the vines. Maybe this will all make sense in the morning. I get to the top and offer Sheik a hand up, and the two of us creep down to the cobblestone walkway that surrounds the moat of the palace. To our left is a stone wall. To our right is a pair of guards. Right in front of us is the moat. I can't help but sigh.
What's the matter? Is the little baby afraid of a bit of water?
I glare at him. I'm not afraid of anything. Except what Bruiser will do to me if I don't get this package through. With that happy thought in mind, I immediately take the precious little package that has caused me all this trouble out of my quiver and slip it into the magical pouch my childhood friend, the Kokiri girl Saria, gave me for my 10th birthday. The thing is not only waterproof, but thanks to its magical qualities, I can fit anything and everything into it, no matter how big. Sheik watches me slip the package into the seemingly too small pouch and shakes his head.
I want one of those.
Sorry, Sheik. These things are Kokiri use only.
You're not a Kokiri.
Well, it used to be, I reply, diving cleanly into the water. After a moment, something disturbs the water beside me, and I know that Sheik has jumped in as well. The two of us swim with the flow of the water for as long as we can before coming up for air, trying to gulp in as much as possible without making too much noise. We swim over to the side of the moat and peek upwards. No one's in sight. Sheik leaps nimbly out of the water, and with much grunting and heaving, I follow him up, collapsing tiredly on the ground beside his feet.
See? You are out of shape.
His eyes glint evilly.
Maybe you're spending too much time with Malin.
And maybe you're spending too much time watching me die from a lack of oxygen instead of helping me up. Sheik laughs and offers me a hand up. All right, Mr. Know-it-all. What now?
We go through there,
He says, pointing at a small opening on the other side of the moat. A very small opening. I cross my arms and raise my eyebrow at him. Through there? Really? Yeah, I'm kind of seeing a problem with that. He frowns at the opening and nods grimly.
I'd forgotten how small that opening was. I don't think we're gonna fit.
Well, at least one of us came prepared. Reaching into my magical pouch, I rummage around in it for a moment, looking for one of my weapons. Aha! Pulling out the desired item. Nothing like a good old-fashioned hookshot. Sheik stares at the weapon in surprise, his eyes wide.
Where did you get that?
The urgency in his voice startles me. Dompe gave it to me, just before he died. Sheik relaxes a bit.
I hadn't heard he died. I'm sorry, Link. I know you and he were friends.
It was about a month ago. It wasn't very pretty, but he was one of the nicest people I ever met. Not a lot of people knew that. I take aim with the hookshot at the roof of the palace as Sheik nods in understanding. No matter what's going on, Sheik always seems to understand. Guess that's one of the things I like about him. I press the button, and the hook flies out of the handle with a soft whirring sound, followed almost immediately by a metallic chink as it sinks its metal claw into the roof of the palace. I jerk on it roughly a few times to make sure it's secure. Grab onto my neck, I tell Sheik. Like a piggyback, almost. He obliges, and I turn around, releasing the catch on the hook shot. I brace myself against a violent jerk as we're sent soaring towards the claw of the hookshot, slamming onto the roof at full force.
Okay, ow!
Shiek says from his position on top of me. Get off! I mutter, finding my way out from under him. I massage my shoulder a bit. I'm definitely gonna bruise now. It's a bit of a rougher ride with two people, it seems, I muttered to myself.
Yeah, no kidding.
Shiek says, getting to his feet and brushing himself off. I pull my hat off, belatedly wringing it out, and then slip it back onto my head. Come on, let's get inside and deliver this stupid thing so I can get home and dry off. Bruiser's likely is not going to—
Hero of time!
I stiffen at the familiar words.